committed or passionate about supporting the students than someone who joined the PTSA wholeheartedly. Teachers don't have to. They get paid to be here out of their own pockets. They joined and became members. 90% of the teachers have teachers join PTSA. Then comes our parents. I want to say, I don't know if any of you all are here tonight, but since last week's town hall, I know that it's mentioned that people shouldn't feel ashamed to have to join PTSA. By no means is that the message that we're trying to put out there. We're trying to empower you. Because by you joining the PTSA, your voice allows us to host events like this to get feedback and collaboration for you to advocate for your children, our children. We have 2,500 students here. Children don't get here by themselves, or one person can't get here. So that if there's 2,500 students, that means there's 5,000 parents somewhere. Today, we have 178 parents. That's less than 10% of our student population that is a member of the PTSA. Just this is a little nugget for you to ponder, to think about. On that same note, on October 24th, we, the PTSA, like I mentioned, the whole executive board, we all work full-time jobs, so if anybody gets it, it's hard to get to a meeting. We're in high school, so long on our bake sales and the cookie dough buttons. We don't do that in high school. Like I said, we're trying to equip our students, our children, to go out here and encounter this great big world. There's a lot going on with that mentally. October 24th, via Zoom, the PTSA hosted a mental health awareness webinar that was moderated by a child psychologist. 7 people attended that. There was 12 in total, but 9 of us were PTA board. So there were 7 parents that availed themselves to a mental health workshop. That was mentioned last week that we really needed. We'd be willing to host it again. Just want to make sure that you guys show up. We had our first gun violence incident in December. There, guys. Counselors were available. There's 6 counselors here. Counselors were available. Students could walk in. There was an email. Who received the smoke signal email that came from the counselor's office yesterday? And then we read it. So there's a whole counseling office with tons of resources and 6 counselors there available. If any of your students are feeling that they need to speak with someone, there's a whole counseling office available. You have access, and it's free of charge. December 14th, we had the AR airdrop incident. Counselors again were available to speak to your students. Were they experiencing any type of trauma or anxiety? There were counselors available in the office. Again, free of charge. January 22nd, counselors were available, hosting recreation planning sessions and schedule reviews. Raise your hand if you avail yourself to be one of the counselors to create a coach plan. Again, that's a resource to help your student prepare to go out into the big world. Again, outside school, free of charge. February 1st, first day of Black History Month, is when we had the incident in the parking lot. Just a week before that, literally 7 days, we had an open house event where Ms. Montgomery addressed the AR situation that occurred, as well as the numerous fights that had been occurring, as well as the homecoming incident that occurred at the beginning of the year that came out of football season. There were 20 people here. So if we were passionate, she did address all those situations and all those incidents and was open to feedback. She begged for parents to offer solutions. Solutions. We're all aware of what happened, but now we need solutions. What can we do as a community to provide solutions to be proactive instead of reactive? If your students are telling you, there were a couple of students that spoke last week. I appreciate that. And a common theme between both of the students that I heard speak was, people bring them to school every day. And they're telling, and the parents also said, yeah, my students say people bring them to school every day. If your students are telling you, my question would be, why distract the student? Why don't you say anything? If you see something, say something. I don't know if anybody really paid attention to the video of the shooting incident, but some of that, to the young people that are here, the young man that was shot in the leg, once he was shot in the leg, all of the group scattered, left him there to bleed out by himself after being shot. Everybody took off from him. Did nobody come back and say, hey, are you all right? Or mom, or let me to help? Everybody scattered. And then it disturbs me to know that kids at home looked at their parents and nobody said anything. If you see something, encourage your kids to say something. If they're talking to you about what they see, have dialogue. Well, what did you do about it? How come you didn't say anything about it? Because if you don't say anything, guess what? It's going to happen again. As evidenced by Tri-Cities High School, as evidenced by Vivian Days, as evidenced by Devin Burke. So we're going to just be looking at the phones and talking about it and shaking our head and talking about what the teachers and the principals need to do, or are we as parents going to kind of shift into parent mode and start holding people accountable, start talking about it amongst ourselves? How are we going to make things better? It starts with us. It starts at home. Last thing I'll say is, again, I'm not saying to join PTSA, and if you're not a member, to shame you. I'm imploring you to join PTSA, because no, one person can't be everywhere, but we can be everywhere at the same time. And we need to change the narrative. We need to take action now. We got all of our emotions out. Some of us got the media attention that we're seeking. Tonight is about solutions. Tonight is about what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So, with that, we got to go. PTSA board, we have another meeting to go to the business of how to play rectify this. Register to vote, sign up for PTSA. Have a good night.
Secondly, PTA president and really I'm going to say, how am I still a PTA president? I also serve on the state board of the PTA, and I just want to give a little brief Black History Month. So, you know, what's up about Black History? So, as England Burmese, she's from Mary Brooklyn, and P. Anderson Hearst, they founded the National Congress of Brothers in 1897. In 1911, Miss Alita Butler founded the National Congress of Colored Parents and Teachers Association at Colored Civil Parent at Georgia. This was the first parent-teacher association for African Americans in the United States. And in 1919, she formed a statewide parent-teacher association right here in the state of Georgia. In 1970, the National Congress of Mothers, which is now, we know it as National PTA, and the National Congress of Colored Parents and Teachers, founded by some of the Love area, had to merge to serve all children. As a result, these two organizations come together, it makes us the largest volunteer child advocacy organization in the nation. National PTA is here to support all children and ensure that their dreams become a reality. But some of the things that National PTA Lunch Program. We also have the creation of kindergarten classes, kindergarten is still in the state which is not mandated. But also school safety. School safety is one of the programs that comes out of the PTA. So we want to make sure that we give a shout out to Sonia Saul Butler, one of the co-founders of PTA during this Black History Month. So shout out to Sonia. So I'm here. We heard about PTA. We're here because there's three topics that we talked about last week. What we heard. Suggestions and collective action. So tonight, and last week, we heard last week. This week, we also got suggestions from last week. What I'm going to do today is review those suggestions that were on the cards that you gave me. I went through all of those, about 85 cards that I went through. And I kind of put down all the suggestions that were given, and we're going to discuss those tonight. And lastly, we're going to talk about collective action. So tonight, when you pay a card, please get a card, make sure you fill it out, make sure you put your phone number on here, and any suggestions, any comments, anything that you want to share that you're not able to share last week, you can put it on this card, and we're going to take those cards up throughout the evening. There's going to be people walking around, you can get into them, and we're going to bring them over here to you, and we'll be able to have that conversation as well as that part of the evening as well. I'm going to bring up our first speaker. Her name is Irene Bond of the Catholic Advocate. I mentioned this organization on last week in regards to mental health supports. This is one of the county agencies that I wanted to come and speak to us. I met Irene, oh my gosh, maybe probably close to 2 years ago. She was our mission director for the PTA, and she came and she trained. This is the PTA dad at White Elementary, and we have been friends and served on the state board and everywhere assistants. So please give a warm welcome to my friend, Ms. Irene Barton, Executive Director of Top Practice.
Good evening, everyone. It's so great to see familiar faces and welcome new friends. I want to just acknowledge and let you know that I'm a mom too, and my two young adults. They're on the on-ramp to independence. We think, we hope. You know, a mom is only as happy as her unhappy child, right? And there's a lot of unhappy and angry folks in the room. Of course, that applies to dads as well. So I want to just take a moment to let you, big emotions are part of our life. And emotions and responses are neither good nor bad. They just are. So let's just acknowledge that you have anger, bitterness, your students have those emotions as well, and a host of others. And it is what it is, and we're going to acknowledge that. And then what are we going to do to deal with it? The American School Counselors Association has a large number of resources. I did bring some resources from the Colorado from our Lane Mental Health Awareness Initiative. But when we go to the American School Counselors Association website, you'll see some resources specifically designed for school communities after tragedies, shootings, and other things like that. And I would say that as a collective, we have all gone through a big trauma in the pandemic when we were dealing with issues of isolation. Some of our students have academically gotten behind, we're looking to catch them up, lots of other things that have happened. And then we have this community event that has happened in terms of violence in the community. As the prior person said, you know, the really kind of idyllic small town feel that Powder Springs has. It's important, I encourage everybody to let the children, the youth, and teens in your life speak. Just like you're not going to dismiss your feelings, you don't want to dismiss their feelings. Word learning, I understand that this is hard. Let's talk. Let's continue to talk. If you don't have that relationship with with your child, no shame, that happens. Is there another adult, is there a coach, an educator, the PTSA leaders talk about the fabulous educators that are here at this school, as well as other county school, Marietta school campuses. Is there someone else? And this is all part of building resiliency and protective factors, because again, we know that life is full of these big emotions, and we want to equip the young people in our lives as well as ourselves with as much skills and resources that we can in order to ride all of those ups and downs. And certainly this, what occurred here earlier this month is, it's just galvanizing, right? You don't really know how to react. So I really applaud my long-term friend and PTA colleague, Mr. Hutchins, for making sure that this conversation is not a one-and-done type of thing. One of the things that I wanted to bring to you tonight is the opportunity to how do we move forward as a community. I would like to hear from you all in terms of what do you want? Do you want skill building for yourselves in terms of how to demonstrate mental wellness, resiliency to your children? Do you want that to be together? Do you want it to be separate? Do you want information around dealing with trauma and stress and anxiety? Do you want information around suicide ideation, how to recognize the signs? What are the risk factors, what are the protective factors? What do you want? And then I'm going to try to pull that all together. You don't really need to tell me, oh, here's our menu of things that we offer, and we think that this is the solution. The solution is here within each of you that are sitting here and the others who are not able to join us tonight. So these are the types of things that Mr. Hutchins and I have talked about in terms of building awareness and much more importantly, building a sense of community. There's a couple of proven concepts out there called community dinners, community conversations, community cafes, and parent cafes, where we can come together. We have a common purpose, right? Our children, our community safety, but we can come together around those things that are binding us together, acknowledge our differences, but again, be focused on the goal, which is to make our community safe, which is to make our children feel like they are protected. So we can facilitate things like that, and I would be happy to walk alongside anybody in this room to do that sort of thing. In fact, the reason I was not at last Thursday's town hall is because we were hosting a community dinner in Mapleton with about 20 plus folks over there. So these things have a track record, a proven track record of success in other communities, and I know that we can do that sort of thing here. But I am here also to listen and learn and then provide some of these resources on how we collectively move together in order to acknowledge what's happening, bring mental health awareness and resources to you all so that we can build resiliency in our youth, because we want them to be safe, we want them to thrive, and to ultimately live a life of self-determination. Right? So I look forward to the conversation this evening and connecting with each of you. Thank you.
Thank you. So, how we hosting this service? So, we're going to have a community dinner around public safety and school safety. So, I'm going to work with Elliot with Foxtrot's Community Task Force. So, we're going to set up something. We're going to continue the conversation around some food. You know how we do on Sunday, everybody comes Saturday, comes out. We're going to do the same thing. It's soul food. We're going to also discuss what needs to be discussed and see how we can move collectively together. So be on the lookout for that in the immediate future. Also, we have, what was that there? Let me just open this. As discussed last week, back in August, I presented an agenda item to the Montgomery School District Board of Education around school safety. This was in response to, the event that took place back in August, the scrimmage game between Cumberland High School and Peach High School right out here. And the incident that took place after that event, this is where this agenda item came from. Shortly thereafter, the incident at North High School, the football game. So this is why, I decided to put this together. In my research, as of, just based on what I can find, from April 2021 until February 1st, can you guess how many incidents of guns showing up on campus throughout Cobb County did we have? Just throw out a number, you can yell it out to me. One too many is exactly right. So, I was told that my data was not from anything other than whatever I had access to. But there was approximately 21 gun incidents where guns showed up on campus, and I'm not talking about in any specific area, we're talking about the north, south, east, west, all over Cobb County. We've had guns to show up on our campus, which is why I wouldn't say paranoid, but as a parent, I'm just, at this point, we have to do something. So, the Board of Education, we are not the administrative arm. We are the policy arm. We create policy. And those policies are the superintendent will use to operate the school district. And it is his job to take those policies and make them operational. And it's only based on what the Board of Education has taken on in regards to policy. So I don't deal with administrative stuff, I don't deal with HR stuff. That is the role of the superintendent, he's the CEO. My job is to make sure we have policies for them to move forward and implement within our schools. So I want to go forward and discuss the policy item that I presented back in August of last year. There was really 4 points on this particular agenda item. Number 1 was to implement school support officers, I'm calling them SSOs, and these are non-post certified officers. So as right now, we have approximately 7 SROs, school resource officers. Those are the ones that are post certified, they help support our day-to-day operations. And we'll talk about the number that is here. That's part of the first part was so that we can give more support to those SROs with school support officers. The reason why I say that, there's 70 officers, but we have 114 schools. That means somebody doesn't have coverage. Well, in order for us to increase coverage, we're going to have some additional support. But if you talk to anyone in law enforcement, our chief is here, he will also probably collaborate and say this is a true statement. If we gave the superintendent a blank check and told him to go out and hire 150 officers today, it would probably take him 5 years or longer to get to that number. It's probably impossible. Everyone is hiring for more public safety. Cobb County, the municipality, everybody's hiring. So it is, in my thought process, we're not going to get to the number we need, so we need to find an alternative. I think that having SSOs will be that. So that means that every elementary school would have a school support officer that will work in conjunction with the school resource officer that is working around in the community. So that they have a point of contact, and the school has a point of contact in the building. In addition to the implementation of school support officers, I suggest that we use technology to assist with protecting guns and other weapons for our large events, games, and functions. Many of our high schools are very large facilities. We have one high school in particular that has over 3,000, approximately 3,000 students in it. Public high school has approximately 2,600 students in it. We have very large campuses with a lot of children in them. And so when we have a basketball game on Friday nights, and these big old basketball rings are filled to capacity, when we are in our football games, well, maybe not in the future, because this is a different type of policy and situation we had in the other 13 high schools, but our stadiums are filled to capacity. And so one of the requests was that we start looking at technology to assist us with protecting guns and weapons for those large events. If you've ever been to Six Flags Over Georgia, or you've been to Disney World, this is hanging out in the park without having to walk and go through metal detectors and all those different things. There was a conversation last week in regards to metal detectors. And there's some people that are in favor of it, some people that are not in favor of it. As a result of that conversation, we just went back to this year. There's technology out there where we just don't necessarily have to pull the trigger of making high schools and having metal detectors. There's other technology that we can use that can give us close to the same results. And so I think that is one of the things that we need. Now, we were just talking about large events. The other request of technology was to assist us with our day-to-day detection of weapons entering our campus. December the 14th, I think that's the date, airdrop of AR-15 here at the future. So we know that those are showing up on campus. As we said, over the last since 2021, I can look at 20 incidents. So we know they're here, but we also need some technology to assist us with day-to-day detection of weapons entering the campus. Some of the things that the school district has in place is excellent stuff. You know, we have the cop shield, and part of the cop shield is if you see something, you say something. We've heard that several times on tonight. At Holbrook High School, that is a culture. When the kids hear something, it can be just a whisper. They are saying something, and within minutes, the threat has been neutralized because children are seeing something and they're saying it. So I want to make sure that we also look at some of the things that we already have in place. Implement those, but I think these are some of the additional things that we can do to also ensure that we put our best foot forward in regards to school safety. The last one is to request a financial analysis of these three items to see what that looks like. You know, we're getting ready to go into budget season. The budget should be presented to us probably, Brad, what month do we get the budget? Probably April? So thank you, Washington Funds, I heard you. April, the budget is going to come before the board. As a priority, I want to make sure that we know if we're ready to do some of these things. So this is just my request that's out currently. I've given this to the chairman of the board, Greg Sanford, and so he's looking over it right after the session. So hopefully this will hit the agenda before April budget season. I will say that the superintendent of schools is also working on some of this as well. Piloting different programs, I believe one is going to be piloted right here on this campus. So things are happening. In regards to this. Suggested safety resources and tools. This is what we got from those 85 cards that I had to go through this weekend. I'm getting ready to get some synopsis of what was presented from the community. We're going to have two categories. The first category is the administrative supports, and then there's technology supports. All right. In regards to the administrative supports, these are the things that were suggested that were help us to move forward in regards to administration. Having an outside agency give a vulnerability assessment so that they can prepare on the campus, right? We've heard that said a lot. With McKean being the oldest school in the county, prior to being a high school, it was an agricultural college. So this campus is different than any other open campus. But we do have a lot of older schools, High School, Northcott High School, that are also older campuses that are open campuses as well. So some of the things that are suggested will not just be for McKean, but also recommendations for other open campuses as well. So that's why it was very important last week, and it was very helpful. But making sure that we have an outside agency give a vulnerability assessment, so that someone can come and tell us where we're vulnerable, where are our weak spots, because we do know we're open campus, but that's not an excuse not to ensure that we have all the resources, all the tools in place to ensure the safety of our students. So we were looking for an outside agency to come in and to assess that. I've actually spoken to someone who actually works in that space, and they're here tonight. Everybody in regards to going around the school districts and helping with that, I believe your schedule go with Seattle over in Clinton County, the schedule goes Seattle over in Clinton County. Can you speak just briefly in regards to some of what you provide and why this vulnerability assessment is important?
First of all, thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me here. I want to give you a little background on being on this in public schools, I also work in the college space. And I'm gonna be quite honest, I'm kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired. Does anybody know sick and tired? And I know for a fact that we can report strategy. So I'm really pleased when I saw that Mr. Hutchins placed technology. Because you need to blend technology with human capital. And what I mean by human capital is us. It's people. I also like his blending process with SROs combined with what I used to call my officers, with county security officers. And it works. Because once you gain the confidence of your young people, they're there. And I tell you something else they'll do. They might not tell you and I what's going on as parents, but you best believe that they're friends. So what you need to do is blend technology along with what you're doing as parents, as well as a school system, because I was speaking with one of the other board members. One thing that we can't do is point fingers. It's not their problem. It's not your problem. It's our problem. It's our responsibility. So what we have to do is come together, be a team. And I'm gonna tell you, there are things we can do. There are small, common sense strategies that we can employ so that we can save our kids. And I'm gonna close, I'm very passionate about this. And the one thing that bugs me, you need to tell me in Cobb County, Clayton County, Henry County, where I live, you can't go to a sporting event for a high school student without worrying about being shot after the event. What are we doing? Is this America? Where are we? So we have to do better. And there's processes, there's technology, there are people out there that need digital resources. Non-invasive. How many people have gone to a Falcon game? They have a system that's non-intrusive. You walk through it, you make sure you have a weapon or not. What's wrong with having that at the sporting events? Or in the school? Because it's not invasive, it doesn't make you look like you're a criminal. They're not going through your book bags and stopping you. It's just to keep the school safe. So I encourage you all to find someone to come in, do the assessment, show your vulnerabilities, and get them corrected with common sense strategies. But I will say this in closing. The biggest problem, the biggest piece of solving the problem is the knowledge that you have. Thank you.
That was the first one. And this is from the community. On-site rules and regulations, we need to enforce our critical back policy, assign student parking spaces, and make sure that every child is getting a student ID if you want it all the time. Those are some of the administrative things. And just writing down all the rules as we know them to be according to the student code of conduct. And be intentional and diligent about it every single day. So that was some of the on-site rules and regulations. Build trust and engagement. Work together, build community engagement, and support the future high school academic success. This has to be done together. We've heard, we will talk about that tonight. It's going to take the village. Last, safety cost analysis. Share the financial impact of creating a safer learning environment with the community, stakeholders, and supporters. So this is the 4 items that came up in regards to some of the administrative suggestions on how we can say it. You have your card in front of you. I want you to utilize this. If something's not up here that you want to see, I want you to write it down so that I can add to this when I present this to the superintendent of schools. I'm going to make sure I have everything on there that's coming from the community in regards to it. We talked about this, the administrative strategy suggestions, student IDs, making sure we have student IDs, making sure that we give them a lanyard with that picture on it. This way we know who's supposed to be here, who's not supposed to be here. Kids graduate, right? Probably 5 kids will graduate and walk across that stage in May and This is because it's a familiar face. But if they don't have a lanyard with their face on it, with an ID card with their face on it, I think it should be on campus. All right, so this is one of the suggestions that I think we could probably, this is one that I think is one of those low-hanging fruits. Now, if they have a suggestion that tag on to this, that if we use, we block off the doors, those IDs with the way you got into that building. So during class changes, the doors are locked. But as soon as that badge door in, that door locks. The only way you can get into there is by that badge. And it opens the door for you, but it also allows that you're targeted and that you're not being where you're supposed to be. That was an additional part of the badge that annual badge. I don't know how peaceful that is, but we're going to present it. Technology strategy suggestions. How many people go to Walmart, Target, Lowe's? We all know. Home Depot. They got the line of sight when you show up to their parking lot. The mobile surveillance camera trailer was suggested that we have those in our parking lots. So that we will have, and this is the funny thing, I did this report. I went to Walmart to pick up some of those index cards, and the other side was playing music. And I was like, what is going on? Who's playing music? I know it's somebody's car, and they can actually talk from wherever they are into this little speaker at the top and talk to whoever's in the parking lot. So I thought this was a very nice suggestion. We're used to it, we see it, it's in our communities. I believe approximately 5 years ago, before I got on the school board, this was part of the request from Public High School. Part of the legislative plan they presented to the district through their personal advisory council. They presented a plan of saying that they desire, and this is one of the technology items that was suggested. Because at the time, we did not get additional cameras to cover the entire parking lot. And so this is one of those suggestions. Also, having our gates guarded. So, you know, afterwards, one of the immediate responses from schools that gate up front was closed. We can have guards at our gates. You know, little shade, you know, we pull into those nice subdivisions in different places. I went to Morehouse College not too long ago, and went to the Morehouse School of Medicine. You have to go past the shade and explain what's your business with the campus. And there's an officer there, one of those SNS folks, that can, you know, be there to help support where you need to go in the park and what's the next step once you go on campus. This is a good one here. Command Center. This one was overwhelming. This one came up maybe, can you hear me? At least 20 times. A command center, on-site command center. So having a room set aside with cameras. So I'm sure we have something similar to this here, where we're talking about something that's going to be manned probably by SSO, because we will make sure that we have those other resource officers out about patrolling through those things. But having someone to man the cameras 24/7. I think this is a good one. I believe Cobb County has one that supports the entire county. And it's a wonderful system. I've toured and seen it several times. I would like to see us have something similar to help support our campus. Weapon detection technology, again, something that doesn't necessarily look like a metal detector, but provides the same effect. You go to Disney World, you're going to see it. You go to the Falcons game, you're going to see something similar to it. And I think this is going to be some of the things that we need to start looking into in regards to our arguments on campus. Additional opportunities for safety. This came up with those vote cards. I think about making a lot of reading. Our children are smoking. Now, I'm going to be honest, we were smoking like 35 years ago in school too. But our kids are smoking in school. They take advantage of the bathroom and the stereo and all those spaces where no one can detect them, right? You can smell it. So we're looking for additional opportunities to monitor the air quality of our schools. School-based marijuana and cigarette detection. This is like a smoke detector. We can have these in all those nice spaces where kids hide out at. You can put it in the bathroom. You can't put a camera in the bathroom, but you can definitely put a detector in the bathroom, you put your camera outside that bathroom. That thing go on, that camera won't come on. So whoever's coming out that bathroom, we might even have a chit chat. And it'll tell you what to smoke, can't do that. Vaping, cigarettes, or marijuana. So this is a little, this came all about too. Thank you for this. This wasn't on my radar, it shows up in there. The last part, our collective action. We've got all the solutions. Please, 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 if you see something that's missing, I need you to put it on here. I'm going to update this based on that information that you're giving me. I'm going to post it online so that you can see it, you can share it. This is what I'm sharing with students in the schools. But this is the part where we have collective action. And this whole like arrows, collective action is a means of power by which individuals can more fully realize their individual values. It's going to take collective action to build community and to rebuild communities. So this is the part that is going to help us get some of this work done. Now, I'm only one board member. As you can see, there's 7 of us. I'm one of 7. Becky Saylor, she's here. She's one of 7. The 2 of us become 2 of 7. Brad Wheeler, in fact, he is one board member. The 3 of us in this room today is 3 of 7. In order for anything to pass and to be acknowledged by the Board of Education, it needs a majority. So how many will we need? We don't need 4. Now, the reason why I say that action is important because I need your emails. I thank you for emailing me. I always tell you, I appreciate you sharing with me. However, you're going to share with 1 of 7, and it's going to take 4 of us to do anything together. So don't just email me, email the Board of Education, the entire board. Just like tonight. This is straight budget speaking. Okay? This is just, did you speak? Did I say that? Okay. We'll go back. I'm just one board member. Tonight are my opinions. This is just my opinion. I do not speak on behalf of the 7 of the board. I speak on behalf of Trey Henson, representing Post 3. McKean High School and Holbrook High School. Current, those schools current. I speak on your behalf right now, okay? They said there's speaks on behalf of South High School and Osborne, current, right now. So when you email us, please email the entire room, okay? Because it's easier when you do that than versus me having to forward to, and then kind of bring them up to speed as to what's going on and all that stuff. It's always good to have everybody involved from the beginning. That helps you just to make a phone call and say, hey, Brad, did you email about Pharaohs? Because that's what we email about, Pharaohs, or what is that other email about, Boston, what is that? Holiday, yeah, we email about back and forth holiday. But Brad says we have all the school emails versus the board, versus the people send it to the entire board office to see it at one time. Also, this is some district staff contacts that you might also want to include. Again, the Board of Education is a policy body. We approve budgets, we approve policy, we employ the superintendent, but that ain't all of it. That's the synopsis of where we reside. Day-to-day operations reside with our CEO, Chris Perez. Chris Perez is the superintendent of our schools, and we know that's here as well. Y'all take a picture of this. Mark Smith is over operations, he's also over our Cobb School District Police Department. He's over the operations of our schools. SPLOST dollars falls under his category, things of that nature. So Mark Smith is with a C, it's not a K. Josh Morial. Joshua Morial is one of the newer areas superintendent. He goes to school safety. And I have his email address here that you want to also make sure that anything regarding what we're talking about, that you also include it in this, because he's responsible. He's one of the responsible parties for understanding here from the community. He's a former principal, he understands campuses. He's the principal of Osborne High School for over a decade. Okay? So he understands what we're talking about. Make sure you include Joshua Morial. The other 2 are additional staff members that I think are important to also have that conversation, because Dr. Jasmine Kular is on the school leadership. She assigns our principals. She helps support our principals on campus and things of that nature. So she's going to be an important person to also reach out to because she's school leadership countywide for all 114 principals. I don't even know how many assistant principals, some schools have 10, 12, 8, you know, there's a ton of assistant principals. That leadership department falls under our chief school leadership officer, Dan Kuhn. And academics falls under capital 11. I have Dr. Hernandez email address on here as well. What does academics have to do with this? She also is in charge of Title I, or titles, all of our title programs, our federal programs. So Title I, Title III, which is our English language learning, that money helps support them, Title I, support students and disadvantaged. She also supports some of the school supports, such as counselors and social workers and some of those school support needs as well. So I want to make sure I give you a full list of these just top-level people that should be included in every single email. The reason why I'm saying that is because collective action means when you start writing and you feel and you're passionate, I'm getting them, but I need everybody to get them. Because I'll talk to a board member and they say, well, everybody reach out to God. My clothes is empty. They ain't got nothing. And I'm always up 3 o'clock in the morning reading emails. Let's share the love. Let's share with everybody. So when I go to have a conversation and say, no, there's 25 parents that talk about this one issue, it helps us to have a true conversation, an honest conversation. Okay? Please take a picture of this. I'm gonna put when we finish, I'll actually pull this slide back up so you'll have it. Because this is probably the most important slide of the evening. Sorry, it didn't come over correctly when we poured it over. But the Board of Education meetings. I want to invite you to the Board of Education meetings. This is collective action that we're talking about. The Board of Education meets monthly. We meet monthly. We meet the second or the third Thursday of every month. That's traditionally how it goes. This month is one of those amounts where we're going to be meeting on the 29th, the last day of the month. And let me just say this too, because I want to make sure that I am honest about what I'm about to say here. The superintendent of Coxville is not here tonight because he is not in the state. He is handling district business in another state. So he was the one that gave me permission to stand before you today on the campus of Beecher High School, and he would be here, but he's not here because he is handling district business. So I want to make sure that I put that out there because that was a question that was raised on last week. Well, last week he wasn't invited. I didn't invite the superintendent of schools. It's a family conversation. You know, I didn't invite him. I didn't invite anybody from the district, just like tonight. I didn't invite anybody from the district. I didn't invite the superintendent of hospitals. I didn't invite board members. Our friends showed up. My colleagues showed up. So make sure that we're doing this part right here. The work session, Becky, please come here. The work sessions are at 2 o'clock on the, yes, hold on. The work sessions are at 2 p.m. usually. You have to check the Cobb County School District website, cobb12.org, to find out when the exact time will be. Sometimes it's 1:30. So on the 29th, we're actually meeting at 1:30. Just got that update today. We're not meeting at 2. Usually 2 o'clock is the time. 1:30 is the time that we usually meet. And our general meetings is always going to be at 7 o'clock. Okay? So our next Board of Education meeting will be Thursday, February 29th. So I'm going to monopolize your Thursdays. All right, for the month of February. I'm going to take 3 of them on Thursdays. Last Thursday, this Thursday, and the last Thursday of the month. If you come for the day, 1:30 p.m. If you come in the evening, 7 p.m. All right? The next meeting after that will be March 21st, 24th, Thursday, April the 18th. That is after spring break. And then Thursday, May 16th. That is before we say goodbye to our graduating students. And we're excited to shake their hands and give them back and take over the phone and send them to the next level. So these are the next 4 meetings right here. Check the time for the work session, because that is the one, the action, and it changes. It depends on how much work we got to do. We got to do that thing. But 7 o'clock is a strong setup. I want to say this about public comments. Every one of these meetings, we have an opportunity for public comments because we want to hear from you. We need to hear from you. We need to hear from you. The only way we're going to be better is together. So we need your voice collectively. And so public comments is before our work session meeting and before the 7 o'clock general meeting. I want to give you some information. This is just how it was. There's a policy on it. If you want to review it on the school's website, but make sure you bring your ID. In order for you to sign up for public comment, you need to have your ID, you need to show it. The second part of that is, we have 30 minutes for public comment. That means 15 people can sign up for public comment, and they're going to speak 2 minutes each. Okay? So whatever you have to say, it needs to fall within that 2-minute window. You will be cut off. 2 minutes is the maximum. You must make sure that you're at the Board of Education meeting 45 minutes before the meeting to sign up. And I put 45 minutes because that's what they suggest. People show up to meetings. So if you want to, it's first come, first served. Sometimes people show up at 3 o'clock, and 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. Because they want to make sure that they get in that line. They will sit and bring a Chick-fil-A and in the lobby, and they'll sit there and they'll make sure they're in line. And there's most people in this room to make sure that they are heard by the Board of Education. So I want to make sure that they have this opportunity. The reason why I brought Board Member Sager on the stage is because all the way here I got an email from my board member. And so if you share everyone your thoughts in regards to what's happening and what you were saying, just roughly what you presented to the Board of Education.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you for being here again this week. I am so grateful for how you were able to discuss a lot of information as well as the motion last week, because I just want to explain that being board members like you, they are hired, but a little invited in, and can't go in and understand what's going on in their community or with their issue. So, hearing you all share what your students experienced, what you experienced, the problems you had, the frustration that maybe you had, it helps us to clarify how we try to identify. So I'm emailing the superintendent, the assistant superintendent of school safety, and our chairman of the board, Mr. Scanlon, with some of those concerns, chiefly around how does the school safety plan work. I know we're going to say we're requiring now the school safety plan, and it sounds like based on the experience we heard last week, some of those things didn't work right, or if you're building holes in the school safety plan, what are we going to do to fix that? Now, I know the school safety plan, you can't make a lot of public for obvious reasons, right? And I know we don't have a lot of shots occurring right now that you might believe will fix that, but I want to assure you that we are working to do that. And as Tracy's talking about the importance of emailing all board members, another detail that's important to know is that the agenda each month is set by the board chairman and the superintendent. And so when somebody offers an agenda, I know Trey has since August, not right, since August, it is get on the agenda. Sometimes we wait a while for the items that we suggested to come up on the agenda. Sometimes it's just a matter of timing, it might get better in a place. Sometimes it's because of political reasons, of course, we are politically affiliated board. And so unless, if the chairman says, let's put it on the agenda, 4 board members can get together and say, no, we want to have that right now. So that's why it's important for you to, when you're writing an email, include everybody, so they all know how much the community is wanting to discuss, how much the community wants a conversation on this issue, and that enables us to do the work that you have elected us to do. We have those responsibilities, and passing the budget, setting policy, and then to the superintendent, but of course, as elected officials, it's an outward-facing position. So you can talk about problems, and then we can present that back to the superintendent and try to get it changed so that our schools can be safe places for all of our children. My children go to these schools too. We were on the stage reading a while ago. We've been here for marching band competition. I know this school is a special place, and we're committed to working together to make it safe.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Those cards, they're welcome by. Please make sure I get those cards. What we're getting ready to do now, and I have about a 10-minute window, we're getting ready to call a few people to give us, these are the 2 categories that we're looking at. If there's a 3rd category that we need to look at, we're going to look at that as well. Chris Floyd, I believe, Chris Floyd. Can you come to one of the mics on, it looks like you're on my left. And let's see. It should be on.
So, my comment was, I can put your name right there, sitting behind me. So I see you talking about technology, one of the things I was looking at was the command center, the command center, even facial recognition, so just like also walking around with a badge. Each person has to take a picture in order to get their badges, so you upload those pictures into the system, you can use facial recognition. That can also help when you're doing a technology will let you know when somebody that's not supposed to be here is actually on your campus. So I know there's a lot of companies that are doing that. Actually, I say. Also, for that, there's license plate technology. I mean, you can know it's right now, but the police department actually have cameras on their cars, so they can tell if you don't have insurance. They can see you with a ticket. So that same technology, you might have to have it coded differently, but you can use that same technology for a lot of students on board campus, especially on the school time frames when you know who's coming on, if it's supposed to be something. And that command center can pay attention and watch them as well. Just like we talk about web technology, all that can come back to the command center and they can go and react. Another thing I was looking at, or the second portion, was more training, right? So we're talking military leaders. I can say you train every day, and we also train if somebody is sick, we train about that person just in case we lost the person. I feel like there needs to be more training between all the agencies combined together when we're having these like active shooters. We heard about how the active shooters fit call, but that a lot of people within those agencies didn't know what was going on. So we don't want to have another text that you can also do different other things, different actions that are going on. How do you react? How do you work it? I think the more training you do it, the more repetitive it becomes, and it's second nature. That was it.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Brooker. Is it Shine? I believe you're a student? All right.
Okay, so I think that it's important that we should have a student advocate to help direct our student board and to the board of education and council and everything, because obviously we don't have points that kids don't talk to adults like that, but I don't want them, I heard a lot, and I don't want, and I try to start with like relationships with counselors, teachers, everything like that, and I think it should be open to students that always to this one, we have to recognize to talk to the people who make rules, so that way the students aren't up because they don't do anything, and we all kind of do one, because it's not gonna be perfect, but at the same time, because y'all are trying to protect us, which I really appreciate, I'm like, I don't care about your kids, so I think that, you know, we should try to involve kids in the rules that are being made, because we can assist them every day. And I'm saying, as a woman, the rules don't work when you let the kids believe that our action is the rules already. So I think that we are involved in the community and, you know, speaking up, because that's the first step to becoming closer to the administration. And I think that would be like the better thing to start.
Thank you. So, one of the points that she raised on this evening, I received a call from the principal at Belleville High School. This happened about 3 days ago. And she said, Craig, I want to start a student advisory group. And she says, we just don't talk about culture and climate at our schools because they are the recipients of the service that we're providing. And we want to make sure that they're number one actively engaged, that they care about wanting to be here, and those things. And so she said, we just need to have a conversation. So she's getting ready to start a advisory group, and one of the first conversations that they're gonna talk about is school safety. Of course, again, Oakbrook has very similar challenges and issues as a teacher. And so I do believe, based on the recommendation that you provide, I think that is a positive step to always include our children in the conversation. They're in high school now. It's a little different when we're talking about elementary and middle school. We're talking about high school students, and we are teaching and raising some of the brightest minds that's going to lead this future. It would be a misstep not to have student voice at the table. Okay? I think that's a misstep. So I agree with you, I'm actually going to include that in the presentation. Here we go. Okay, student advisory. Good deal. We need to get more kids involved. I think that's good. And then we need to find a way we can open it up to all kids. So that everybody can have an opportunity to share. Yeah. Because, and I'm going to bring that back to Dr. G too, because she said that she was going to look at school council and SGA, and those kids are already, they're already on the path to success. We want to make sure that we are touching every child in that situation. There was a situation where one of our students that may have some cognitive delays may not have been properly served. I do not know, but that is what I'm hearing. So then we want to make sure that we are ensuring that we are properly serving all students and that all students are getting the necessary resources and support throughout the day, especially in time of crisis. But yes, I think that's a great step that we have. I think we should just keep moving forward with that, and then let's expand it and open it up to all kids. Thank you for sharing that with us. Someone here from Public High School, they said they want to mental public. Yes, ma'am. I think one of the great ways to close an open campus is to put a fence around it. And we can have, as we talked earlier about those large sheds and things of that nature, that will also be helpful. One of the sayings that Public High School is we are not an open campus. But as you drive off of it is, but every day you say, this is not an open campus. So when you get here in the morning, you stay here until the bus takes you home. There's no walk to the store up the street. There's no leaving for lunch. Once you're here, you stay here. So thank you. I'm going to put that over here and help file. We also have principal advisory councils at all of our schools. So maybe you may remember years ago we used to have a school council, which was parents, four parents, two negative visits over, two teachers and the principal. Now we have changed that policy and now have principal advisory council at each and every one of our schools. Our principals, they will choose community members and parents to sit on that council. I ask that everybody that wants to get involved and stay involved, reach out to the principals, find out what those meetings are, and try and be a part of that advisory council as well. I think that's one of the great ways to stay involved and work directly with the principal in regards to that. There was a question here. Is it Janessa? In regards to the community events to build resiliency and trauma-informed competency, watchdog group of parent volunteers to visit and work at the schools, and ongoing working groups, committees, and town halls. This is, go ahead, can you start with that?
Thank you for everybody who's being here to assist us in supporting our community. I think that definitely the ongoing communication is needed because we shouldn't just come and have conversations when they're crisis. We should be communicating all throughout, hearing from all of the students. I think it's a wonderful idea. Another thing that I was talking about earlier, resiliency and really trauma-informed competence. We need to understand what trauma looks like for everybody because it impacts us differently and it impacts our students differently. And so we have a better understanding of how to work with our children, how to communicate with them and engage with them. I think that we will also have a better result in the school, and also it can kind of cut down some of the fighting, because And I'm also going to suggest, I did not put it on the form, but Coleman, the 21, children who had guns on campus, told them to find out what their reasons, so that we can really get a better understanding of, the foundation and the root causes of them actually bringing those guns to school. And we can be more intentional about serving those areas as well.
We're gonna take that, we actually want to speak with us.
Hey, first of all, thank you, Trevor, for hosting this, and thank you to all of you who are here. I know there's a lot of people, very fantastic. I won't waste a lot of your time, I did want to bring something to your attention. There was a question a few minutes ago about the training and coordinating matter with the school police and other agencies in the active shooters. I just want everyone to know that we do that every year. And we also do a community meeting every single year in March. It'll be March 16th this year. And we actually show you what we teach, and we show you how we bring other agencies in to learn with us and to help us collaborate. One of the really big things we do is we debrief incidents like just happened here and say, hey, what did we do well? What could we have done better? And so we've already done our debrief inside the police department. And we have another debrief where we will do this with all of the other agencies that are there, so that we do get better. We recognize that there's always room for improvement. We were very happy that we got contact teams into this school very quickly. We were very happy this was not an active shooter. We were very happy that there was no one killed. And so there was a lot of good news, but we also realized that we could have done things better, and so we will learn that and then incorporate that into our training every single year. So we do that, and we really would be honored if you would come and visit with us. We have a trust session, which certain members of our community are sitting in this room today. Ms. Grimes helped us with last year, and I'm sure will help us this year. The girls who are here with us, and many others that we collaborate with regularly. So not only will we actually, but it will also be a lot of other classes. How we use technology, y'all talk about tonight, we will tell you, we'll show you about, y'all call it a command center. We got a real-time crime center. Pay attention, real-time crime center here across the entire nation. But we'll demonstrate that and show that to you. So I think it might be a comfort for everybody in this room to see what we do, but also recognize that these are very messy events and we're always going to have room to improve. So we invite you to that, and we just really want you to understand that we take our job so seriously. Every single unit that we have in the police department, we have about 700 sworn positions, and every year goes back to shooting. And this is not a light class, this is a heavy class where we actually practice a very realistic active shooter event. It's a very heavy, sobering event. So I invite you to come see us, maybe we can help you understand what we do, and of course we'll be able to take questions and things like that at our meeting. So I appreciate your time. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself. I'm superintendent and chief of police for the Cobb County Police Department, and we'll be here. Actually, one of the people that really has headed our training is in fact newly promoted Captain Lee Turner. Y'all give him a hand. He is literally an expert on every shooter, and he'll be here if anybody has questions about it. Thank you, Trey, for allowing me to speak for a few minutes. Thank you, Susan. All right. Come on, what's going on?
Sorry, in the next part, but something's been bothering me since I saw your presentation, so I'll move it to just this one question.
Yes.
Vulnerability assessment. We've had 4 major incidents that we listed today. During a football game, an AR-15 that was brought in December with an airdrop, and a kid who was shot a couple of weeks ago, and we haven't had a vulnerability assessment at any point. basic thing, like,
I don't know if they have one or not. I don't know if they have one or not, but this was a list of suggestions from last week. And so I'm putting the point on the list of suggestions from the community.
okay, so, chief of police, where do you go? Are the cops allowed to do a vulnerability assessment? If there hasn't been one done, like, well, first of all, let's find out what's happened, but if it hasn't, I don't understand why there would be age like that is 101 basic, you can't address the situation until it's been identified, for the people.
That's right. You have to acknowledge that it happened first. I believe our speaker from the agency mentioned that. I will agree. I believe also part of that assessment piece mentioned that we have an outside agency to do the assessment as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What role does the faith community or churches play in regards to this? And this is a great question. The city of Powder Springs has a program called 4P, principals, pastors, parks and recreation, and police. All of us come together every other month and we sit down. So all principals in the Powder Springs community, they come together and they have an opportunity to sit down with local pastors and local churches. I mean, the churches, some of those churches as part of that meeting. Most of the churches that are around here is part of that meeting. Parks and Recreation, also the Powder Springs Police Department. And we meet every other month to talk about how we want to best support the Powder Springs community. That is an excellent opportunity for faith-based organizations to get involved by coming to that meeting, finding out what's on the table currently, and what else that they can provide in regards to that space. The other part of that is having a meeting with our principal and finding out how they can be more engaged, even in regards to community around us. We do use a lot of our churches, and we have a great relationship with our churches, the baccalaureate, and different things we utilize the facilities all the time. But I believe the intent of this question is making sure that we have some kind of intentionality around them supporting the school other than just providing things for us. So, great question. I think we should reach out to the principal and see how she wants to navigate that particular response. Let's see. I have a text message. Denny Wilson. Ms. Wilson. Thank you for coming all the way from here.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, Trey graduated from high school with my sons. They came from Pellsbury, so it tells that and also tells this. I know. I like everything that you put up here. You know, I think it's something that would be a great asset and will be a great prevention program for the school system. But my hesitation is, and I know this year you guys rolled back the school portion of the property tax to 3.02%. So, and you guys know, once you become a senior, once you're 62 and college, then you're obsolete with 73% of your taxes because the school taxes go away. So my thing is, how will this be paid for? Yeah, because because again, the school taxes is the highest portion of the tax bill. So everybody wants solutions to the problem, and I don't have kids in school right now, I want solutions too. Because, you know, if something happens to your child, I feel that as a mother, every mother is gonna feel what happens to your child. So the question would be, will the households absorb the additional taxes that you may have to incur to pay for this? Because it's not gonna come free. I mean, there's a lot of things up here that I know would be good and would help, you know, with the problem, especially technology. I love Trey's, you know, idea on that, where you walk in, they can detect whether you have I think that's a great idea, but again, it's gotta be paid for. So my question to you is, how will all this be paid for?
That's a great question. Part of the agenda item is for the superintendent to do a financial analysis on what that looks like. Because, again, that is the first question that one of the governors of the school district, we're fiscally responsible for the district. So that is part of the first line of question. How much does this cost us? So they will know, one thing my mom used to say years ago, and the pastor said this too, you know what people are passionate about and what's their priority with their checkbook. The checkbook will tell you what they're passionate about. I am suggesting that we get a financial analysis so that when I say, when the board of education say that safety is our priority, we show that. The beautiful thing about our county is we have slots, and we thank each and every one of you for voting for slots every time because it allows us to provide capital expenditures, capital expenditures, as far as our buildings and a lot of the things that you see happening that we would not be able to do if we can't free going. So we thank you for that. School safety and safety priorities are also part of the process, so there's some items in regards to that as well. But we have a surplus. Our school district has a surplus. If you listen to the Board of Education meeting, Board of Education, he reminds me every meeting we have a surplus. So again, you asked the right question, how you gonna get paid for? We're gonna pay for it. We're gonna corrective action, we're gonna present this, we're gonna work with the superintendent of schools, and budget season is coming up. So that means we're passionate, we gotta make sure that passion is not just with me, Becky, and Brad, but we have to have all board members to make sure that we have what we need in regards to school safety. So I'm passionate again, not just me, I'm passionate, I won't. But I need to make sure that my colleagues, my good friends on the board of education also have the same passion in regards to making sure open campuses specifically have some additional resources that's needed in order to secure those campuses. That you would like to share with us?
Yeah, and a few more, I think you say about the money portion of it. In the governor's proposed budget, the plan is to allocate $45,000 per school to address school safety concerns in a possible way. And we're gonna have operations, so we don't necessarily tell the superintendent what's spent on money, we would certainly be involved in it, how it's been. And good news or bad news, and I look at their property taxes keep going up. So even though you roll that millage rate, you still pay more in school taxes last year than you probably ever have before. So we're still collecting more money, even though the millage rate has gone down. So we now, the rate of tax is lower because your taxes have gone up so much, property tax. And like they said, it would be a very healthy fund balance. Part of that is there have been lean years and further recession, the state cut the money in the middle of the year, and we want to make sure we pay teachers, pay ourselves. 94% of our budget is salaries, so we don't ever get in a position where we can't have enough money on hand to pay the people that are doing most of their jobs, teaching their children. So just go back on money.
So, thank you. We say it all the time. Safety is our priority. Okay? It is important that we put our money where our mouth is. Okay? That is what I'm suggesting we do. And collectively, our collective action is that we advocate to the entire board of education, to the superintendent of our schools, to make sure that happens. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Cole. I'm here to provide some background context about the areas and opportunities for improvement. First, I want to thank the PTSA for having us, and I want to say you might recognize me from last Thursday. I want to say that with more than 80 of you outside in the cold because of the new school. You remember the video where we were stuck using because the district thinks that the community is about school safety, not very about that event, there's on campus, is a political issue. And for that reason, school facilities shouldn't be used. I'm trying to make that make sense. I still have not been able to. There are multiple causes that lead to events like what happened here, and there's not a singular solution, so I appreciate all the ideas and involvement here, but I do know that one thing is certain, and that's that involved citizens can affect change for the better. So we need to keep this going. Maybe as quick as I can, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I grew up here in Cobb, honestly 6 minutes away from here. I went to Cobb schools, I played on this stage many times for Cobb Independence Festival. I loved the ball, moved to Chicago for 8 years, where I saw them and I grew up. I got married, had a kid, moved back home, and I started paying attention to the schools because we were being part of it soon. My oldest daughter starts at Still in August, and I, like all of you, want my child to be safe, make good friends, and to learn. School safety is what originally got me involved in speaking at board meetings. You've already heard how to do that. I do encourage all of you to show up and make your voice heard. Routinely, we are told, the involved parties, well, there's nothing you can do, so what are we going to do? So the more present we are, the more attention we will get. There is a wonderful community of people who use data to recommend improvement methods to keep the district aware and in hopes of maximizing its potential budget. That community does not make up the majority of our board. You've heard about 4-3, 4-3, 4-3. Everything gets routinely shot down. You can't even bring something in front of the people of Cobb County unless 4-3 say that they can go live. So nothing useful or new can even be proposed or discussed in front of the public, so it all gets filled in the backroom allegiance committee. You can also not maximize your potential unless you're working with everyone who makes up a part of your community. You can't maximize your potential when 65% of your students are non-white and you just happen to, at almost every turn, take formal measures to ignore those groups at best and harm them at worst. As you see, our children's safety and support is not being maximized right now. Transparency from the district, we've all seen recently, is not being maximized. And I saw it last week in action. It felt great. Whose district is this? It belongs to the people of Cobb. It's funded by the people of Cobb. It can and should better support the people of Cobb. There are 4 men on the board from a certain political party that continue to ignore fact-based recommendations and pleas for help from students, parents, Cobb citizens. I've waited in line for them to sign up and speak for our precious little 2 minutes, and we connect, we're aligned. The board does nothing with it after we speak to them. So stakeholder satisfaction is what it's about. And I have questions about how everything was handled a few weeks ago, but it's still being handled. A lot is broken when we ask for basic improvements and major improvements, and they do nothing well. They did find time to move forward on a new $50 million facility. They made time for that. Yeah. So I still have questions. Were you all satisfied with how everything was handled? Was the communication you received good enough? Do you feel supported and heard? I'm grateful about it, and I'm happy things were controlled relatively quickly, but I'm sorry about what happened. The district public was quick to face themselves and their leadership, but it's not over. What do we do next? How do we stop this? Instead of leading in right away, our board should was things like rail cigarettes and public transit and the blocks. When urgent emergencies have occurred on campuses in our district. I've been going to board meetings for 2 years, and have asked for rationale, research, interaction, reasons why, action of any kind regarding all of the needs of so many groups that make up Cobb. And in that time, I received 0 calls, 0 letters, and 0 conversations from the current 4-3 board majority. They do not want to hear or see one who is not aligned. How do I know? Because they have words to dilute the vote of everyone in this room. They defend their innocence, but if the map that you drew and paid for to update all the school posts and have not committed the millions of our tax dollars is found in the court of law being unconstitutional racial gerrymandering, you tell me what it is. And a few years back, a previous board chair, such as Williams, to the community about the pursuit of a new name for Wheeler High School. It's named after the federal general. That board chair even created a committee to interact with the community and students. It was an election year, is running as a Republican candidate for the newly drawn post 7, that now includes the teacher, later this year. It's all connected. We can't fix this if we don't have buy-in from our leaders. We have to implement different measures to make schools safer. We need to work with each other more, communicate more. A lot of really good examples in children right now. We matter more than the board's majority of loyalties. Our CCSE employees matter more. Our children matter the most. Working on our fix cannot interfere now. And we have to maintain momentum to change the county for the better. I have enough, and I want change. So I'm going to do something about it. I'm dedicated to listening, learning, and making things better. So I'm announcing tonight that I'm running as a Democratic candidate for Clark County School Board. For Bill 7. So I will stay here as long as it takes. If anyone has questions, want to talk to me after, I'll want to hear from you. I'll wrap. Please go to Andrew Ford to join my email list and for working together with Clark County, a school board, and the communication and equity that it deserves. Thank you.
There is one here that doesn't have a name on it, but I have it. And let me say this. More police is not the answer. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. More police is not the answer. I'm asking for school support officers. We're not talking about gun holding, post certified officers. One of the things that we also need in our schools is restorative practices, right? We gotta have restorative practices. Children make mistakes, adults make mistakes. So we want children, as they raise to adults, they're gonna make mistakes. One of the things that we've done in the public request track, we started restorative practice. Our students was making a lot of mistakes, so we couldn't just get 7 kids, we couldn't be suspended, right? So we had to have Saturday school, where the kids had to come to the school along with their parents, and they had to go to a series of restorative conversations. Our social workers were there, our psychologists were there, our counselors were there, the school resource officers were there, and they would do just a lot of conversations around how can we best support that child so that we're not in this place of always excelling. More time he has out of school, the less likely that he's going to pass over the next grade level. Some of the work of that school support officer needs to be around being able to host some of those school, the action around passing those restorative practices. So yes, again, more gun carrying officers is not the answer, but there is support that is needed in our buildings to help support students that I think we can get in part as part of that right there. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Colin Sauer with the Washington Funds. We are a group of parents, stakeholders that are holding the school board and the school district leaders to kind of balance their money. So I really appreciate your question about how is this stuff going to get paid for. Becky mentioned the $45,000 per school that the governor has suggested. Collectively in the district, that amounts to about $5 million. Washington Funds has asked the board to ask the districts to come up with a plan of how they're going to spend that money and to engage the community to do that. That is something that this board and this district does not do. I think we've seen over the last 2 weeks, thanks to Trey, what happens when the community comes together and shares ideas. Y'all brought forward some ideas that Trey didn't think of, and that's what happens when we get together collectively and we talk about our issues. So I'm going to encourage the board members that are here, Wheeler and Trey and Becky, to listen to your constituents and taxpayers and when we pay you, we pay the bills, and to include this in the budget process, to include this in this nearly $5 million that's going to be coming from the governor's office regarding school safety. What does your school need? What does your cluster need? You guys know that. The student that spoke so eloquently knows that. So thank you so much for being here and allowing us to be here and having us here and have this conversation. Make sure you get a picture of this, because if one other board member does not agree with the school safety money on the agenda, it does not get talked about. So if you want to know how the district is going to spend almost $5 million of new funding for school safety with absolutely no direction from the governor, or the districts, then please reach out to your board members and to your leadership and ask them to please, well, demand that your voice be heard on how to make safety fast.
Thank you.
Principal, I just want to thank you again for your leadership. And I would also like to thank your fellow board members who show dignity and respect for this community by showing up tonight. Mr. Hutchins, if I may request that you please go back to your slide on your administrative support, because that is where I would like to address my comments.
This one here, or?
No, on your, go back, yes. It says,
The giving titles.
okay, build trust and engagement, work towards building community engagement and support for teachers' academic success. This must be done together. Please don't invite me to a meeting where I'm going to be insulted by the parent teachers. I have a right as a taxpayer and as a parent to show up, be indignant, and get engaged when children were shot on campus. How dare you tell us not to be angry? I want to know what are the safety measures and what you're going to put into place to make sure that my one and only grandchild comes back home to me every day. So yes, I am angry, I'm indignant, but I'm going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to go to work. But I was highly offended as I sat there and worked. I said, I'm going to say, but you don't talk to parents like that. If you want parents to be engaged, then you don't talk to parents like that. And maybe that speaks to why you have 199. And by the way, I'm a member of the community for 4 months. And I was one of the 7 that was on that conference about mental health. As a social worker, it's near and dear to me. I got no welcome to the Detroit Parent Teachers Association, and I haven't gotten another invitation to that meeting.
I want to see what this is.
Yes. Thank you for inviting me. I am just so empowered, so excited about this conversation. It's so very necessary. But what I do want to say to all you citizens in this room, the power is within you. Because this is one of the most important elections getting ready to take place in 2024. And what we don't want as policymakers, as parents, as whatever's going on in our communities that we're not satisfied, vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. We need to make everybody in our communities that you can't see apathetic about the importance of the battle, because that's the power that you have. You can control the narrative, you can control the legislation, you can control the policy. So it's very important, we as citizens, we as people, we're at the end of this being nonpartisan. So I'm not telling you who to vote for, I'm telling you to vote, because it's necessary. And when you think about all the conversations that we're having in this room, all of your vote is mandated by the things that happen for our students. Is we can't be apathetic, we can't sit by and not tell our neighbors, we can't make sure people are not ready to vote, but they have the opportunity to go and utilize the power that they have by casting them ballot. So I encourage you, just to make sure that that's the forefront of everything that happens. As policymakers, your vote will matter. And each and everybody needs to make sure we're at the polls. And every election that takes place in our community, every municipal election, because the power of the vote. Thank you.
So, how do you sign on the next step? 30, 60, 90 days. This is what I'm looking for. When I say collective action, you'll Lord needs to be heard here. That's the meeting. February 29th is the Board of Education. We have 2 sessions, 2 p.m. Oh, sorry, 1:30 p.m. And they said, if you're coming to the 1:30, what time do you need to be there? Somebody said that, I'll go with that. 11:30, yeah, because if, at, what is it, 1:30, that would be what? 12 o'clock? 12 o'clock, the line will start. The line's already started and waiting for the middle of that registration. Okay? So whatever the time, whatever that means, what time you gotta get there, you get there. 7 o'clock meeting, what time you need to be there? I'm going to suggest earlier than 6. 5. Bring the Chick-fil-A with you, eat in the lobby. Eat in the car, something like that. Let me explain something I know told. I appreciate you saying that. Eat in your car. Okay, because I do believe the line is going to start outside. Okay, so eat in your car, but make sure you're there. And you see people with lawn chairs and stuff lying outside the front door of the district office, that's what they're doing. They're in line, waiting to sign to make sure they are part of the 15 days to see. Okay, so that's the meeting. After that, we're going to see what happens. And of course, we're going to continue to keep you abreast of where we're at, so we can continue to work on our next steps. Now, let me say this. The map's changed. The governor has signed the map. I know at some point it will be recognized. I'm probably no longer a Board of Education for McKeesha. For McKeesha High School alone. Now, I still will probably represent all the elementary schools that represent that means to the McKeesha High School schools. Zap, Compton, Powder Street Elementary, Zap. I'm going to still be working for those, but I may not be the Board of Education for McKeesha High School. Okay? So, but that doesn't mean I'm going away. Let me just make sure I'm saying that. Because most of you here have children that are in middle school. And you're concerned about what's going to happen in high school. So the parent cafe that we talked about, I'm going to host those. Even if we have to have the church across the street or around the corner at the Ron Anderson Center, we're going to host them. So the conversation will continue in the Powder Street community. I'm still attending the board meetings with the city council of Powder Springs. I'm telling you, the city of Powder Springs has strong leadership. And I'm going to continue to be involved with them and making sure that schools are best supported and that the community is supporting schools as well. So I'm going to continue my engagement because again, just because I'm not representing McKeesha High School doesn't mean that I don't represent Powder Springs. Okay? So I will still be here. We're going to keep moving forward with that. There's a question here in regards to the policy code radio being called a regular class change. So those are some of the logistic operations that need to be worked out, and those questions can be filled out by the principal schools. So reach out in regards to some of those logistics that she may be able to share with you on a one-on-one basis. Where's the principal? So I'm here to, let's start with this. This is not a school function. This is a board member function. There is no district staff here. There is no school staff here. I paid to have a meeting at McKeesha High School. Okay? So there is no staff here. This is not a meeting for staff. This is not a meeting for anybody that is employed by the school district other than the one employee that I paid to have here as a sign. So that's what that is. Those conversations as far as next steps with the principal, she'll have them on her own. Now, we don't know the operation. I'm not open HR. We're just policy, our only one employee that we hire as a Board of Education is the superintendent. Everybody else, they'll go for hands off. I don't have anything to do with that. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Good day. I just want to speak out because I am a teacher and I say staff. Good evening. My name is Mrs. Keisha Hill, and I'm a very educator for 16 years. I've been in Keisha High School for 8 years. I've been on some of my parents. I'm a 2-sport coach. I'm in a 4-sponsor club. Very active in school, and I have been a teacher of the year. And I was my here teaching, Lord, 26 years. And also, a coach. But just saying, you know, in this times, there's so much dissension and disagreement between the community, the teachers, the students, the administration, when at the end of the day, this is all of our issues. You know, I hear people say, you know, blame the teachers, blame the administrators, blame the parents, blame the community. Like, this is everybody's problem. And it's going to take everybody in order to fix this issue. You know, and I know it's hard to be a parent. I am, as you see, good child, my first child, and, you know, but as a teacher who's been at this job, you know, since they say it's 10,000 hours to get an expert in the field, well, I put in 100,000 hours towards this. I was thinking I'm an expert teenager, so I will tell you that, you know, most parents tell you, oh, I love my child, I love my child, I love my child. You don't really know your child as well as you think you do. But there are indicators that will allow you to know that maybe you don't know that your child has a good or your child is a good total, but you absolutely know they have the capacity to do so when they hang around people that are in their life. And so it is up to all of us to be more vigilant and be more aware of what these kids are doing. Like I said, also heard I'm here. Oh, you know, I know the kids here because I'm here. No child ever told me that. Because I be so quick to call and send a text message. When we hear about stuff in staff members, we immediately inform administrators. We immediately, I have the phone number of officers on campus. We immediately let people know that there's an issue because I understand that we got our children and you did not send your child to get shot. Well, mom always sent you to work. To be in an unsafe situation either. I would like to come home as well. I'm starting my own family as well. So, you know, to think that we are really prepared as staff, that we're not doing the best that we can do in order to secure the safety of the students is our next step. We want to secure the safety of ourselves. And like I said, we've got to understand that we all have to work together in these endeavors. And I love to see the parental support. Like I said, as a coach, as a sponsor, I can tell you, you know, looking at the meeting last week, that was beautiful to see all the parents there. I was so love to see them present at the plays that take place in this event. I'd like to see them present at the games. I'd like to see them present at the dance recitals that take place out of all the stuff that is sponsored here. And I also think we need to be more aware of what we do have because there's some great resources that have been presented. There's some great resources that the parents are talking about. You know, they came earlier and said, we do have a student advisory board. And you all right, so it's the same kids. It's open to everybody, but it's the same neighborhood, same community council members, it's the same children that are getting actively involved in these things. So we want all of our kids to be heard. They need to advocate for themselves, and they need to step up and be heard. Because I am one of the teachers that kids come to. I got kids all the time. I know more about a lot of these young than you do. So they'll tell me what they tell you. That's why we need to be on the same team. All right, we're not working against each other, we need to be working with each other. And so, you know, the blanket thing, we know that in everybody, we need to be everybody's fault. But at the end of the day, it's our kids and doing what we need to do to make sure that we are all in the same environment. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have to do this together.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So my name is Tammy Alvey, and I have a son who attends this school, and my daughter graduated from the school. And I'm a certified health coach, so I wanted to discuss maybe communication and sensitivity with it. And we have a lot of great ideas up here. When it gets communicated back, I have a method that's called PASS. And that means partnership, accountability, solutions, and support. And it would be great if once we have partnered together, we've identified the issue, we've become accountable, we acknowledge and agree what occurred, we find a solution, but having those practical ideas like we did today, but providing those dates, a timeline, clear direction, and also solution-driven action in that communication back. And then support, when providing those resources within that communication that we are extending. I do echo what we are saying here, that this is a unified effort because if it wasn't, we wouldn't be here. And then, furthermore, I love what, another character that the woman had said earlier, and she had mentioned about coming onto the campus, and I was thinking about this and was really excited about it, and I was thinking about PLP, like us pop-up partners on the show, because it is a unified effort. I did hear about the military, that was here, and other people who could volunteer, and it would be so awesome if we do have those times, because the parents who are here, the community who is here, we are standing in the gap for others. We're here, they're not. One of the amazing things, and it may be because they can't be, but we're here in the gap for them at this moment. But one of the most amazing viral videos that I saw was when there was like elementary school, and there were like dads lined up, right? And they were all saying wonderful things to the children, they were all excited. But as the children tend to get older, we forget about them. We relax on them. Not every parent does it. And so if we could pop up, if we could show up, and we could be that resource to a child that does not have that mom or dad or that big face at home, when you show up, you are. And I appreciate the teachers earlier, some people are around, okay? And she's showing up, she's popping up. But where are we? So we're gonna have to pop up and show up and bring up and whatever else we have to do, partnering together, because we're not alone. One additional thing I want to say, is speak on it session. I was thinking about making sure I speak on it session, and I love the young lady earlier, the student came up here and said about the advisory board. But how do the children want to be communicated? Maybe we need to do a survey, find out what resources that how they like to communicate. You don't want to be by Zoom, you do it on lunch times with the counseling, fortune advocate. How do you want to learn? How do you receive information? So that's information that I had today. The others I'll do resources with the principal, because not with education. But I thank you all for your time.
So this is like, I'm throwing out there. There's certain, I need you to keep up with that stuff. And so what I'm also hearing is parents want to pop up, parents want to be part of this whole conversation. Make sure I have your contact information either here or send it to me. And say, hey, I want to be part of this whole conversation because I'm committed to staying here until the community heals. And we have the right steps and processes in place to make sure that we can ensure we are comfortable with our children coming to the stands. I'm not going anywhere. I will help as much as I can until we are where we need to be. Our representative just walked in the room. Is that him? Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Would you like to come to speak? So everyone, Representative Wilkerson, he's been busy doing our work, representing us, and he told me he had other meetings to be here, but he's here, he stopped by. So I want to make sure I honor that and give him opportunity to speak, sir. Hand claps, thank you.
Thank you, sir. My name is, Sarah David Wilkerson, and I did all that for here earlier, but this is very important. And thank the school board member for doing this. I saw Brad outside, I think he might be here as well. His community effort. I sent a text to the superintendent, thank him for letting us have here today, for facilitating that. This is our community. I love the Galvin laws of lawmakers and talk about the shooting of Keisha and Hayes and Trump City. It's happening a lot of places. What we can do at the state level is make sure this doesn't happen. So I got my wife on about 2 minutes up here. Came right over because I want to make sure I at least make sure that you know that I'm here. I talked to a lot of parents over the last 2 minutes and city council member over there. This is important. These are our kids. You got to feel safe. So we're probably talking about this. We'll repeat everything I already said. We should go to our kids to safe environment. And so my job is at the state level is making sure that the laws we have there facilitate that. That we are doing more than just the minimum, that we make sure that all law enforcement gets together when it happens. Prior to that, we started talking about safety drills, and you know what those safety drills look like, we talk about the people that are doing them, and so the day unfortunately comes, we can talk about what happened afterwards, and the next day, making sure that we talk about what happens afterwards. And we group and make sure that we're doing the right things. I think there was some mental health stuff we're gonna talk about tonight. Yes, we did. Yeah, talk about that, and I said that's not really like, so, I'm available, my cell phone is out everywhere, if you got a hand name, or my cell phone, if you wanna take it down. It's 770-891-9736, right here. You can, hit me up, stop, text, and all this after 8 AM, or before 9, I'll respond right away. Because after that, I'll see if I don't respond, because I don't know if people get mad, so text at 6 o'clock in the morning. Above 3, I don't check text at 8, so, but anyway, I just want to say thank you, and make sure we get together. All right. Any, can I take a question? Any other questions before? Yeah, 770-891-9736. And I'll be here till the end, and I'll be saying how to do it. All right, thank you all.
So again, when we're talking about, we have to do this together as a community. We're on all levels at this point. Very local, and we're going all the way to the state. Okay? Because it's going to take interventions on multiple levels to get the support that we need. Not just for the future, but we're talking about at this point, all schools in the state of Georgia. Ms. Draper, I believe yes.
Good evening, everyone. Trey, first, I would say thank you for having this. I'm a mom first, and I have a student here, a teacher. And I want to thank the teachers and the teachers for all that they do. When the meeting first started tonight, I had to hold my mule and kind of soak it all in. And I didn't want to come earlier because I wanted to hear the totality of the meeting. So I'm glad that I did that. Thank you for sharing the feedback regarding technology and administrative support. Also, thank you for sharing these email addresses. I think it's key for us to not only email our elected officials and the district staff, but we need to show up on February 29th at 2 o'clock and at 7 o'clock. 1:30. But I just wanted to say thank you. We are still healing, and I think for that to be disregarded, hurts. So I was a little bit incensed. I'm not going to sit there and say that I don't know everything's fine, but I'm glad I listened to the rest of the presentation, so thank you. But as a community, we can't get through this, but also let's not forget, I came on PTSA. I was here that night for the open house. I was on that call for the mental health. I am an involved parent, and I'm more than happy to stand in the gap for those parents that may not be able to. Okay. So, again, thank you for this, and know that we are here for you.
Yes. Thank you. One second. D.A. Brody is in the room. Did you want to speak and address the crowd? This is our county prosecutor. We need to hear from
Trey, first of all, thank you for having this. Thank you for the PTSA response. Thank you for all your parents that are here. Because the most important thing we do for our children is to show up. If we're not able to show up, it makes it hard for us to make sure we know what we're doing. You heard the teacher say, they know our kids better than we do. And the fact is, that shouldn't be the rule, that should be the exception. We need to know our kids, we need to know what they're doing. We need to so dogs and wires that they can talk to us we can see when they're wrong, something's going wrong, and we can see mistakes that they're ready to walk into, and we can help them not make those mistakes. The thing I hate most more than anything is to see a kid come from a home that's filled with trauma. Because those kids are more prone to drop out of school, they're more prone to use drugs, and they're more prone to come see me in my professional endeavors. And I really want to put out of business. But the only way I can do that, I need help of teachers, and more important than that, parents. Parents being involved in their kids' lives, making sure they're doing the things they're supposed to do. Please, please remember, your kids have no Fourth Amendment rights in your house. You go through every single thing they have. I don't care what it is, their phone, their room, their car, every single thing to make sure you're keeping them safe. And the issue with the number of people in the PTA, I don't think she's trying to shame anybody into joining the PTA. She's trying to tell us that we need more involvement. Because the sad part about it, the people who need to hear this message, they're not here. They never show up. And we can try to stand in the gap, but that gap, we're only need. You know, the Bible has a verse. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And we got to continue to fill in that gap by encouraging others to come to these meetings, to come to these meetings, to come to those places where our kids are, so we can let them know we are involved. One of the things we're trying to do with this attorney's office, we're trying to start all dad chapters in our elementary schools. Getting fathers involved in schools. Because no disrespect to moms, but when dads are part of their kids' lives, we get better outcomes. We try to do in company with me. We do a lot of different things in the community to make sure we reach the kids as soon as possible. Because I hate sending the smart kid away for life because he makes stupid decisions. And as a community, as a whole, we have to work together to make sure we promote good decisions, doing good things, and focusing on making sure every single kid in our community has an opportunity to be successful in the person they want to be one day. And I don't come from a background where I had everything. I came from a background where I was an innocent kid, gangs were everywhere. Things were presented to me that if I did wrong, shouldn't have to be just like some of these kids I've seen on a daily basis. But I know there are people who love us that can make us focus and do the right things. So I'm glad you are all here. I'm glad those people who are running for office are here because you show that you care. Let's continue to ramp up things, get more parents involved, get more people involved in our community so we can make sure that every single kid has an opportunity to sit in the position we want to sit one day. Let's not leave anybody behind. I really believe we can say that every single kid in our community if we do the work to make it happen. So once again, Trey, thank you.
You got one of those, you got it. You got it. I only paid for it till 8:30. So. Let it go. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, you said close to
Thank
I have sisters that attend teacher and I came in and tell them that the first year we don't see and I don't say what they come up here. So about the tone of issues, like I said, I continue to open the PTA, I joined it, but if I attend that and the principal isn't even there, kind of makes me feel like she's not involved and it pretty much supports what my kids say about how principal feels. No, because school meetings, a board meeting, so I'm a numbers person. So I heard $50 million for event space is crazy. Even looking to see that the superintendent is $350,000 a year.
4:30.
Oh, when I'm going, you know, and it's a $1,200 car allowance. And it's kind of the same bonuses that teachers get. Baby, the president of the United States only makes $400,000. So the math is math to me. Our teachers are really on the front lines, and they're paid. The other thing that the communication. I get so many emails from work, my personal emails, I'm not gonna lie, I probably have 30,000 unread because it's just so much. But my text messages work great. I get more text with events that's going on for my kids, faster than I get an email from the school about what's going on with my kid, because somebody got their PR put a spin on it. The incident that happened a couple of weeks ago, you can advocate or something, but you can say that it wasn't students that were victims, but there was no communication that the shooters were students. To me, that's more alarming because these are students doing something on campus, and people that came off campus, it wasn't them, they were the ones that were talking about our kids, or the kids that go to school with our children. So that's crazy. I don't know how many of you guys know about that page on Instagram called Key News, where they posted all the stuff the kids. They had to shut that down because they didn't want bad singing on the school. But if it's real, it's real. And if that's what our kids are seeing, and our kids are seeing this information to this person, how do you shut down different speech and different expression because of English? That's all I want to say.
So this is what I need from you, is I need you to grab my card, at the table, and make sure you email me what you talked about, and some solutions that we can toward that communication, I need to know that. So I need to make sure that you email that to me, and so we can have further conversation, because there's a lot of parents in here, based on the information that you see, we need to have, y'all need to get that, we don't have dinner. We can sit down and talk about the issues and then figure out how we can address them. This is just a safety piece. I ain't got the communication part. We ain't got it. That's a whole other booger that we got to fix. We been trying to get the technology, some administration stuff, but that communication. Oh, we got it. I know that is probably there. We look at our feet. That part right there, we got that. That's coming. That is coming. That is coming. Yes.
That was my question. I actually wanted, suggested, when I was complaining about communication, when we, look at learning fast enough, when it comes to anything that's happening, kids will learn this. So that was something I'm sure that fall under the technology piece, but I'm glad you understand that communication piece, whatever. But, trying to say, it kind of bothers me because, how can I say this? Parents show up more for sports. Prom is simply how much you spend, how much money on prom. But sports, honestly, we should start seeing stuff in sports, like games and stuff like that. There's all the show games. And there's time for sports, baseball games, football, whatever. They're there. So there's no excuse not to be here now. And I think I actually work full-time job, run a business, my business in the military. And we show up. So it's no excuse. So if we can actually start speaking in games and get their attention in games, I think that's the best way to communicate with parents. Also, I would say a lot of parents probably couldn't make it tonight because we weren't aware of the need. But I saw a thing and told it, I was like, oh, yeah, I need that. And I was like, okay, I was in the meeting while I'm here, and I think we should be here. But we didn't know until last week. So is there some way to kind of get ahead of something I'm saying? That would be awesome, but I feel a lot of parents weren't told to last week. Something at 9, 9, 10. So that'd be nice if we can kind of get ahead of something.
So let me explain something when I say we talk about communication. This is by design. last minute half information is by design. I had to pay for this book. I had to request it and jump through hoops and hurdles. And finally I said, I'm not doing that, I'm elected official that governs the school district. And I called the superintendent of our schools, and I said, I need a building. Whatever excuse, whatever barrier we got going on, whatever policy is, I'm not asking us to go back and forth about any of that. You are the superintendent of schools, I need you to allow me an opportunity to address the constituents. He agreed. We didn't have to argue, we didn't have to go back and forth, but just to get that spot, I wasted the whole day, just going through the process. And so I had to bypass the process. The process is designed to limit the amount of time that I communicate. Now, the other part of communication, I wish I could be able to send this out via CTLS, our communication platform to every parent. It was kind of an option that we could do something. But as one person was sitting on the board, I don't have that ability. I will not give that privilege. Other board members can do that, but I. Yes. So I want to personally apologize for the communication, because I want to do it the best way I can. I am thankful for 2011. The MPJ, all the press that they issue press here, because that's the only way that I'm able to get out. I'm key parents in the area that I'm connected to, I send to them the name last out. And, that's why people is calling us, which is contact information. I'm on my phone texting, and my school board phone texting, and I'm emailing because I'm trying to get into as many people as possible, because I don't have to be measured by my need. Okay? So that's our design. So we will address communications. That's going to be one parent cafe or another town, but we don't know. We're going to talk about communications. All right? That's on our list. That's on our list. And we're going to talk about communications on that day. We're going to talk about next steps on how we can improve communications moving forward in regards to crisis management. So we will discuss that, because again, part of the reason for having the town hall is to make sure we got as much information to you as possible. Yes. Yes, sir. Mr. Williams. You know, my son was probably turn my town on.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Williams. I'm a business. I live in Alabama. A lot of issues going on in the here. They're the same thing. Doesn't be done by the community to think about it. You all know the right thing. The biggest thing we need is this. As parents, we can't do that. PTA say out. Now we get rid of the 9 years ago. Which y'all say I'm just saying. They will see people, people's way of saying things. And the way we do. The gist of this is, we are going to be involved. Not just looking at the as a whole. Because remember, I said the power of this. The county people say they should do all that. Very dismissive. Think about it. It was never before. It is what it is now. They say y'all not showing up. Did y'all show before? We had this before, parents did before? No. Nothing changed. But what changed? The demographics changed. The demographics changed, and the approaches changed. Why the Southside County only one that had the issue was security and safety? Yep. Why is that? The people in the looking at them, because it was a beach. Now you all can close it. So now you address it. Just can't sit back on the beach and have no disrespect. Tell you where I came from. Right now, there's 3 board members, right? Because we buy cars, 2 Democrats and 1 Republican. Brand's on board, that's bipartisan. So we have 3 on the board. And if they vote for it, you should go forward. So that should be an issue. If he's on board, and he's a board, he's right here. Doesn't talk fresh. So like that 3 votes, we need 1 more. So address that on your opportunity. Another thing is also speaking, I'm speaking for everybody like I'm speaking for local also. The Trace of Area, security on campus. Their issue is they have so many private camps. So So we have the same issue right here, just in this town, why wait until something happens? No, let's take on anything that we say. But real fact, Walter High School, they want to put a safety bridge, when they did for a sports facility. It set up like $1.2 million. So you can't tell me you can't build a bridge, you can't build a fence on this side of town, some people over $1 million. You can't tell me that. If you do, you tell me you will. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I found the club. My paycheck ended at 8:30, all the time. I want to first thank each and every one for coming out, every elected official that came out, every parent that came out, NAACP, thank you. Voter registration, if we, I want to know all about the collective voice. I would probably get every week we have. I want to thank, those that announced candidacy tonight, that they have stepped forward on behalf of our community. I want to thank them for that. Please spend the next 5 minutes as we are walking out of here, communicating, talking, and chatting. If you have any more of the postcards, please make sure I get them. I appreciate you. And good night, everyone. Thank you.